What? 2 weeks in a row, I think. Were you on last week? I can't remember. No,
1-1.
1-1. But next 3 or 4 weeks, we're going to keep everyone up to date about Bicep Bash. We're going to probably have some of the athletes on the show, but more importantly, John, we just might have your opponent on the show. Hopefully we can have it before we go over to Vegas. How is the horizontal domination expert going?
Well, look, when you're as wide as me, you got to be able to spread the good news of horizontal living as wide as possible. That's what we want to do. And speaking of being as wide as possible, I think Scott Steiner's actually going as wide away from this show as he possibly can, because he knows that coming face to face with a man of my magnitude, a person who is so full of natural phenomenon himself that it could hardly be
natural what? Natural what?
Hey, I know my Scott Steiner, and I know exactly how that word is pronounced. I learned it from him. If Scott Steiner knows anything, it's language and mathematics, but neither are going to help him in Vegas.
Man, like, how can you believe it's actually happening? Can you believe, like, we've always been a believer in armed sports entertainment, but we were told 3 months beforehand. We were told in January. Yeah. And it's like, shit, man, you've gone the early crow, Tim. We're just like, is it going to happen? You know, Tim was so excited to tell us, and it's happening. Like, you are going to be pulling Scott Steiner. If you don't know who Scott Steiner is, look him up. He's a WWE Hall of Famer. And I think the thing that makes me so happy, John, is for years we were crucified. For years, we were castrated like we were witches from the East. For years, our nuts were ripped off because it's like, don't bring Nari in arm wrestling. And we are going to the grandest stage of them all. We will be there at Bicep Bash Tuesday. Then we will be there with Scott and crew come WrestleMania.
There's only a few times in your life when you get opportunities to send your being, to ascend your own aura. And you got to get out there and you got to grab them by the balls. And let me tell you what, I got my eyes right on the balls of WrestleMania weekend. I'll tell you that much. The Tuesday before, it's going to be live on Triller. Me versus Big Papa Pump. I'm going to take that chainmail. I'm wearing that chainmail to the clubs that night. Watch it. I will do that 100%. Chainmail is mine.
Oh, that would be so cool. That would be so cool. Have you got an intro song ready to go? Don't give it away. But
I've got two intro songs, slightly different flavors, and it'll probably come down to the day on which flavor we'll end up going with. And a lot of that is going to depend on my mood, and my mood will depend a lot on Scott Steiner.
And come tomorrow, the team are going to announce not 1, but 2 more Hall of Famers coming. And I tell you, John, I will be going into bat for you like I've done my whole life, or, 3 or 4 years when we met. But I'll make sure whoever these Hall of Famers being announced, I'm going to challenge them. I'm going to make bets with them on your match. I'm going to do whatever it takes. And I believe, I wonder if Tim Talmadge, oh, yeah, there he is, right on cue. Hey, guys, Uncle Johnny's joining me for the next 3 or 4 Mondays because it's just going to be like Bicep Bash Monday. We'll talk about some other arm wrestling stuff as well, but this is all how important you need it to be. Tim, are the tickets on sale now for Bicep Bash, or do they go out when the rest of the athletes are announced? The rest of the Hall of Famers, John. Like, it just like It's a huge, for you and I personally, it's a huge get fucked to a lot of the arm wrestling world.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
We both would have been happy for each other if only one of us was picked, but Tim Talmadge was smart enough to book both of us, which makes that juice even sweeter.
I'll tell you what, Tim might be the smartest man in arm wrestling. Still real dumb because we're all real dumb, but he is the smartest of the dumb guys, right? So, goddamn, good on him. I'll tell you that much. For me, I was thinking about this the other day. I was going back through and I was watching some old Scott Steiner, late 90s, early 2000s. And I was just thinking to myself, my God, I am such a specimen that not only am I going to crush Scott Steiner on April 15th, I would have crushed him in his prime as well. Incredible piece of historical footage, showed great light upon what's going to happen April 15th.
It's going to be great. I think my link was too big for it, so I might do a bit of screen share action, and I'll chuck it in the in the description. Where are you, Bicep Bash? So there it is. General admission, party patio, VIP is exactly what you want. Bicep Bash, Arm Sports Entertainment presents Bicep Bash, hosted by Scott Steiner. I will be a co-host of the event. It's going to be a great 3 world-class arm wrestling super matches culminating in a main event showdown between wrestling legend Scott Steiner. We got to get rid of top arm wrestler. Just call the fucking beast. The beast. John Thompson. In addition, the event will kick off in a live Q&A panel hosted by Aussie Armwrestler, featuring Scott Steiner, Sarah Backman, WWE legends, and other special guests.
So I've heard, I don't want to reveal anything, but I've heard that when you buy a ticket to this event, it's like you're not just buying a ticket to see the show. Like there's going to be a lot of crazy stuff that's going to be happening at this thing. A lot of cool items. I think you'll have a chance at a lot of very interesting things that I'm going to be myself trying to sneak into my own basket as a non-spectator. A lot of cool stuff. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Oh, I do. Mate, it's going to be brilliant. And the sponsors that Tim's got on board, like, okay, you might look at the ticket price and go, whoa, but you get to see some arm wrestling matches. Pro wrestling fans are getting to meet 3 Hall of Famers, Q&A. But that $100 you will get in like free merchandise. Like I think the VIPs get a gift pack. Paradise cards are going to be there with breaks. So if you win a box of cards, there's your money back.
Boom.
Like, how good is that? Your money comes back straight away. I know one of the matches confirmed, Brandon Allen and Don Underwood. If 2 people are a perfect fit for this event, it's those 2 Neanderthals.
They're so optically pleasing to the arm wrestling eye, in my opinion. Anyways, 2 very large dudes. You've got Don Underwood, who, of course, has a legendary career. He's recently kind of coming back into things, taking a few matches here and there. Brandon Allen, on the other hand, still relatively new to the arm wrestling game. He's been in, what would you say, 4 years-ish? 5, something like that. But
the king of the table.
Right? Had a very, very high-octane start. And he did lose to me left-handed, but he's a good guy. He's a good guy. You know, right-handed is a little bit more up his alley. I actually think it's going to be a really crazy match pitting Don Underwood's years and years versus Brandon Allen's ridiculous, stupid strength.
He's disgusting King's move. Very sticky
King's
move. So that will be all on it. Just a quick one there from our man, says top 10 right-handed 220 match in North America. Jordan Sill versus Ryan Ballesteros.
Ballesteros, I believe.
Ballesteros.
Yes. That's going to be really nice. That's going to be a good one.
I've seen Jordan Sill in Australia.
What about Australia?
I've seen Jordan Sill pull in Australia.
Ah, right.
Lachlan Adair just manhandled him. He didn't have the best fight.
Lachlan's a thick boy.
Yeah, he's done a bit of a teaser of who he's going to be pulling next. He said he's got an anti-bulldog training. So have a guess in the comments who you think what's his name's going to pull. Lachlan Adair. John, just quickly, we're going to get back to Bicep Bash, but made a video a couple of weeks ago. I had the feeling in my agates that John Brzenk was going to retire. And Engen basically spilt the beans. So John's having back surgery after this. Big mistake. Wanted to take the attention off John. What do you think? Just an honest mistake?
Well, I mean, come on. Engen knows what he's doing. Engen knows exactly what he's doing whenever he does it. So people, if you can't figure out what he's doing by now, you're probably not going to figure it out, or you're not going to believe it, even if you do figure it out. So, c'est la vie, I say. I would say if anyone was going to be needing to be respected to the utmost in this sport as they finally, go out into the great yonder, that would be John Brzenk. So I would hope that I hope John is happy with whatever send-off he ends up having.
Do you think it'll happen this month?
I don't know. When does he got Yoshi?
Yeah, Yoshi in couple of weeks. Not this weekend, next weekend. 29th.
I mean, it would be a good bookend. Be a good bookend. I don't know if there's any more matches that are like, oh man, I really wish we could see this before John, hung up the boots. So I like it. If John wants to do that, I fully support that. But I also know that arm wrestling is a sticky, sticky mistress. And sometimes when you think you're so far away, it reaches back deep into those tendons and tells you what you need to do. So,
well, Devin probably, he actually summed it up pretty well when he was on the show the other day. He was like, no one ever retires from arm wrestling. No one ever retires. It's just it matches are far and few between.
Yeah.
Like Neil Pickup isn't retired.
Right.
Just hasn't had a match in a long while. He was just explaining people don't actually retire.
Right. It's just everything's just on hold until it feels okay again.
Yeah. It'll be good. Joe reckons it was stupid to mention his back surgery. Yes, especially if that match, take that match off Armbet. Is that on Armbet? Let's have a look. Because I would be yanking, I'd refund everyone. It is on Armbet. You wouldn't believe it. Yoshi Kanai's block sold out. John's not touched.
Ooh, how about that?
So get rid of that. One more, because I want to get back to this one. A left-handed match with two guys of a combined weight over 750 pounds.
Woohoo!
I thought that was the Don Underwood, Brandon Allen match, but we're going to have two people bigger. So what's that in kilos? So
a lot.
340 kilos.
That's a lot of man. I'm pretty sure I know one of them. I know one that would have those type of numbers.
Wow. Who?
Well, I don't want to say. They haven't announced it yet.
Okay. I'm trying to think who, because It's not Corey West. I'm trying to think of big Americans. I'm trying to think.
What about Now I'm trying to avoid the name that I think and go with names that I don't know. What about a guy like God dang it? Who was the guy that just had the match and he looked really good? Oh, God.
He must have been awesome.
God, it's so dumb. Stone.
Nick Stone.
He's pretty big, isn't he? Probably 350. Or did he get lighter?
I don't know. I know he's around my height, a little bit taller. I remember chatting to him in September, trying to remember his height. Could be Nick Stone.
Other monstrous dudes.
Man. Like Wayne Withers. Joe says Wayne Withers, Cody Merritt. I'm not sure if Cody's allowed.
Wayne's always a good time. Wayne would be really good at this event, actually.
You were at this. Were you at the same Knuckles Up with Wayne? Were you on that one?
Yeah, for sure.
Wayne's grouse.
Man, Wayne is like, I wouldn't even want to try to keep up with him.
So 3 super matches plus your match with Scott Steiner.
Yeah.
Now I'm stuck in a hard spot, John. I'm a pro wrestling lunatic like you. Before the show, we're showing off our things. We've even organised little presents for each other. We just love it so much. So part of me, while I'm doing the commentary or doing the like the pre-podcast live Q&A and whatnot, a part of me wants to challenge another Hall of Famer to a one-round match.
A one-off. I kind of like it, I kind of like it to sprinkle a little action in the...
I'm more, do I make a bet with one of them? Or do I just do my show? Because I want to add value to the event, but I also don't want to take any sting from what you're doing with Scott Stein.
If I would speak frankly, I would say the sting of what Scott Steiner is going to feel is one that there is no anti-venom for that type of sting. It's going to be so burning bright. It's going to be Scott Steiner in a sling at WrestleMania. They're going to be like, and here's Scott Steiner, WWE Hall of Famer, and he's going to be there. He's going to have pins in his arm. He'll make it, but he's going to be pretty roughed up.
Wow. So some people are guessing we've got Mark Henry, Brian Shaw.
Oh, yeah.
I already think Brian Shaw would be under lock and key for East versus West. His next match or an arm wars with Neil. So I would say no. But if anyone can pull it off, it's this guy here. Yeah, Wayne Withers is awesome. Joe quickly says, what old wrestler has a hip replacement?
All of them.
They all do. But I'm telling you guys, so it's going to be live on Triller.
Mm-hmm.
Tim, if you're still in the chat with us, will it be a pay-per-view or is this event behind a paywall? If so, let us know so we can give everyone as much time as possible. Can we also... I'm just trying to think what else. Like the exact VIP treatment. Because I think the VIP is going to be nuts. Yeah. I think it's going to be worth it, especially the other 2 Hall of Famers that are getting named. Oh.
And just, for me, for my own excitement, there's going to be like multiple hundreds of people at this event, right? Like, that's right? Like,
yeah, like 300 standing, I think, or 400 standing.
Yes. The place is going to get going.
Oh, It's giving me chills. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's giving me chills at the moment. Bicep Bash will be here. Does anyone think that John has a chance against Scott Steiner, or is it the other way around? Do you think that John will decimate?
Put that picture of his back. Put that thing with his bicep back up on there. Oh yeah, that's the whole thing right there. I'm gonna say this right now. I am bigger than he is right there. I am way bigger. I make him look like he's a preteen. I'm telling you, I'm going to be so big when I walk into Las Vegas that there's going to be an eclipse, and it's going to be my head, because it's all going right there.
I wonder. First of all, sorry I haven't been much in the chat. John and I have not stopped talking for not only this, but we've been talking for half an hour straight. So just quickly say hi. I'm a historian. No true words were ever spoken. Last one quickly. Nope. Scott Steiner's bicep too big for Uncle John. Well, and last one. The airline's going to make Uncle John pay for a whole row of seats.
That is how you horizontally dominate.
What have I done here? There. No, wait. Let's go back here. Now, I am thinking, I'm spitballing here, and people let me know. I wonder if Scott Steiner would like to make a bet. Do I openly make the bet now, John, or do we wait till I'm with Scott on stage?
I mean, I don't want to give him any time to prepare, right? It's better if you just give it to him right then.
Okay, I'll hold it. I'll tell you privately.
I see. Now that's
he would take that bet, wouldn't he?
I would have to imagine. I would have to, if he's confident.
Scotty boy. Yeah, hopefully we can do a bit of a pre-show, as in before John and I head off to Vegas in. So what is it for? So April 12th, is it? No, 15th.
15th.
4 weeks, John.
4 weeks.
4 weeks of genuine madness.
Man.
I want to take you back to that conversation first. Hey, just let everyone know, 7 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, Jerry Cadorette will be on the show. Speaking of big daddies, Jerry Cadorette. We got the big bad booty daddy, and then we've got the big daddy. Jerry Cadorette will be on the show tomorrow. Now, what was your thought process when Timmy Talmadge gave us the call and he was saying that you'll be taking on Scott?
There really wasn't much of one, I would say, for quite some time. It was one of those things where I really thought it was a dream, because it's weird enough. It's weird enough where it's like, you have one of those dreams that's super convincing, but something very unrealistic happened in the dream. That's what it felt like. Like, I just wake up from a dream and it's like, oh, I was going to go to Vegas and arm wrestle Scott Steiner. Wouldn't that be cool? That's what it felt like to me. But it's now sunk in over the last, a couple of months here. And
that's insane. It's insane.
It's ridiculous.
It is unbelievable. It is unbelievable. And since we've mentioned it, John, my phone right now is blowing up. It is ridiculous. All the notifications that I'm getting about it, it is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
It is out of control. So just let everyone know, if I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times, because it's just getting borderline harassing now. I'm trying to get through all my messages. I really am. If you've emailed me and then hit me up on Facebook and then hit me up on Instagram and then like hit me up anywhere else, just chill out, everyone. Just chill out. I'm trying to get through all my messages for anyone that, clearly none of it is an emergency because it's arm wrestling. But just chill out, everyone. I'm trying to get through all my messages. That was one thing when I first started in the arm wrestling world. I was like, no matter how busy things get, try and reply to everyone, and I'm going to try. Don't jump the queue. Don't do whatever. Just chill out, everyone. Give it time.
I'm Aussie arm wrestler. I got so many people who want to ask me questions. They got to get in line.
No, if I could just quote Frankie Goes to Hollywood, relax.
Oh,
just
man.
Relax. Just enjoy it for what it is. Yeah, when it got to me, I was literally wearing a WrestleMania shirt when Tim rang me. And I thought Tim was just ringing me to spill the tea and things like that, with everything that's going on. He's like, oh, it's cool that you're wearing that shirt. And then I thought he was like being a jackass because he's like, oh, I'm going to WrestleMania.
Like,
I was happy for him. Of course I was happy for him. But he just rang when I was going through a really shit time. And I thought, well, everyone come dunk on me. And then he's like, well, are you available? Do you want to hang out with Scott Steiner? I'm like, let me lick your bald head, Tim, because that is delicious. And then I fell up the stairs running to tell my wife. I fell up the stairs. It was great. As Tim's having a laugh in the chat. So yeah, three matches. So I'm just trying to think how would it all go. What do you think, John, would be a perfect timeline? Because we know arm wrestlers can really take up a lot of time. And it is such a big deal to win on this stage. You've got to understand 300 people, 10% are probably arm wrestling fans.
At the most, yeah.
At this event?
Yeah.
So how long do you think the Q&A podcast on stage would be? With myself, I forgot the lady's name that's hosting with me. I do apologize. And the 3 Hall of Famers. And we'll probably get Sarah up on stage as well. Yeah. How long do you think that should go for? And how long do you think the 4 matches should go for? Or give it a time limit?
Yeah, so it's hard to say. It really depends
on... Inner Steiner maths going.
Get the what?
Your inner Steiner maths.
So what I'm trying to divide by Kurt Angle, and it just, it's not working out very well for me. But I would say like you could definitely do an hour just Q&A with the 3 legends. Like for sure, not a problem. If people ask questions and, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So I would almost say like an hour minimum.
Okay.
Do you think? And then I'm assuming, I don't know, I haven't heard officially if all the matches are going to be like best of 3, best of 5. I don't know.
Well, because it's 6 p.m. till 9 p.m. Events start, doors open at 5:30, 6 p.m. kickoff.
Oh, so then we got to do the Q&A 6 to 7, and then the 4 matches, hour and a half. I bet we could do it. Don't need a half an hour for each match.
So best of 5.
Best of 5. Okay, then you might need a half an hour for each match.
That's not good because you kind of want a bit of you don't want it to take up too much time. Like you don't want it to just be rushed.
Right.
Like this is the part that I think we need to get right, because if we go,
well, I guess
because I think people afterwards want to party, get a photo with Scott and the other 2, and after the event, they'll want photos. They'll want
Oh,
photos.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Sign trading cards.
Well, one of the big questions I would say is, are we running Bicep Bash with what we usually do at Arm Sports Entertainment? Is it the typical rule set, or are we doing like a razzle dazzle rule set, like WAL set grip or anything like that?
Yeah, it's got to be razzle dazzle. It's got to be a set grip. All slips to straps and all that crap. Like, get bigger pads.
Yeah,
because there'll be nothing worse. Because everyone would have had a few, right, by the time the first match starts, and nothing's gonna suck when they're killing it, and then it's an elbow foul for like a hop and things like that. Tim will be reffing, so he'll probably put some super glue on the pad so there's no elbow fouls.
Yeah, I think
30 seconds. I love it.
Yeah, that's a big one. That's a big one. Get them down, and I think you have to go to the men in the corner. I think you should go right to them and be right in the faces and see what's going on there.
Yeah, absolutely, of course, because we would have had the Q&A. Everyone's gonna have a drink, something to eat, maybe get some photos. Whilst the first 3 matches are on, we get to highlight how fun arm wrestling can be. And then we don't want it to be too long because we still want everyone to be up and about for when we introduce Scott Steiner and Uncle John. The Masstadon. Or the Master John.
Do you think I have to come out first, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I come out first, Scott comes out second. So I can take my time making my way to the stage, so I get my time in the limelight, which is the real reason we're all doing this, right? Get my time in the sun.
Oh, I could get Sandman vibes off you.
Yeah.
Skull of beer. Fuck. My biggest weakness will be not having too many drinks during the day, getting too excited for this event.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to be very sober right until the end of that show, and then it's game on for the rest of the week.
Oh yeah, I'm always. I think I have like one because I just sit and take a moment to enjoy where I'm at, and I'm always professional, always professional. But guys, April 12th, who?
15th.
Coming to Vegas. Who is coming to Vegas?
15th. April 15th.
April 15th. Why do I keep saying? Oh, because I think April 12th is when I'm leaving. That's why I keep getting excited. April 12th will be a Friday. No, that's a Saturday. I leave April 11th. Get there April 11th. Spend the weekend with Tim. Go to Vegas. Get me in tippy-top shape for the 15th. Oh, oh, there you go. You're coming out as Donk the Clown.
You know, there might be a bit for that. I might be able to come up with something there.
High to the face. I'll message Tim after this show. I'll message Tim my bet for this one. John, give us an update. Have you got any matches coming up? If you got any events, and like, do you know any of the matches that are happening at East versus West in a couple of weeks?
No, the only one I know is Devin versus Corey. It's the only one I've even heard. But this is the one in Texas, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know any of the other matches. For me, I am arm wrestling like 4 days before the Scott Steiner match. I have a left-handed match against Austin Jaggers, and it is a I quit match. So we will keep arm wrestling until one person says I quit.
That's awesome.
So it might be 100 to 99, and then one guy's arm just explodes, and then that's the end of it.
Well, don't let yours explode. Oh no, that's left arm. You'll be pulling Scott on the right.
Yeah, so no problem. I mean, even I could pull Scott left too after Jaggers. It's not going to be a problem. I am a structure of such power and integrity that the clergy have been flocking to me as the new Messiah.
So, how many rounds do you think it would take for Austin to quit? It was me, Austin.
Three really long matches.
You think he's going to burn him out?
We'll see. I mean, if he's smart, because wins and losses don't really matter, right? So you got to be able to play the game. And
surely something's got to give. Like, if you're up, say, 24-4, and then you're like, yeah, I'm a bit tired. What Jaeger's wins because even though he's been flogged, like, surely this...
Maybe, look, I haven't thought it through all the way. It just sounds good, all right? We'll get it straightened out by the time it happens.
Where can we watch it?
So it is going to be, it is a Robert Kelly joint. So it's going to be on his, which is, what is his
website
not again?
Spike Lee.
He's like, yeah, you're right. He's not Spike Lee.
But no, it's been a hot minute since we've seen Austin Jagers.
Yeah, I don't know. I saw him. Where the heck was I? Oh, I saw him when I arm wrestled Paul Passmore.
Yep.
And so we pulled a little bit that day, and it felt, it's hard to say who's sandbagging who or who's tired, who's strong, whatever. But it felt like there was some kind of a match there. So there you go.
What do you think would... I'm just trying to think. So, like, you're pulling Scott Stein, you got this fun I Quit match. Could you imagine, would it be better or worse if you actually got invited to East versus West? Because you've been told you need to publicly apologize. You lost a year's worth of gigs because you had to publicly apologize. Do you think it would be better, or would that just be the creme de la creme of the...
What if Engen called me and he's like, "We need you for East versus West"?
Yeah,
I wouldn't take his call. Engen can't reach me. Engen is not getting through to me. I'm not interested in riding anywhere on that ship.
No. I'll tell you what, if we are interested though, we might have, like, when John and I are in Vegas, we might have 2 more huge announcements. We might have, like, like you need to stick around on our channel, Triller and Arm Sports Entertainment, because shit's gonna get wild. And if these 2 things come through for us, I genuinely think you and I are stratosphere to the moon. Like this. New era. That is probably the best way to put it. And I think it is a stratosphere to the moon. I think it's a new challenger. I think it's a new wave of where arm wrestling can go.
Mm-hmm.
And it is it will be the end of an era. But this new era, as you so eloquently put it, in your phenomenon, I think it's going to be cool. I think it's going to be cool. Like, who would be some other... So we hit this one out of the park. When I say we, I feel like I'm a part of Arm Sports Entertainment because I just love Tim.
Yeah.
We hit this out of the park. Who are some other pullers that you think would just fit this style that we're trying to bring?
I think there are. I think once people start to really look at what it is and how it's working and what kind of and how arm wrestling can serve as entertainment in different ways than it has traditionally been shown, which has never worked ever. But once people start seeing that, I think there is a generation of new arm wrestlers who could be ready for this. What was it? I started doing this stupid stuff in like 2018 on YouTube. It was like, what is that? That's freaking 7 years ago.
Yeah.
And it was the bottom 8. Remember the bottom 8?
That was, so I watched that live, man.
Of course. Awesome. So good. And it was right then and there that I'm like, all right, I see that arm wrestling has potential. I see that arm wrestling is moving forward. So realistically, this match with Scott Steiner is literally the finish to the step-by-step process that I've gone through over the last 7 years. This is the final boss.
What else can you achieve? Like, besides the only thing I can think of, the next step up is Triple H gets you in the Rumble next year.
Right?
Like this year, it was iShow Speed. Next year, it's the Masstadon.
Right?
But like, what else can you do? But like, I can see, like, I think of Mario Tambakis will fit well. I like when James Wall pulls, like he screams, he gets stuck into the crowd, and whether people love it or not, I like a Ryan Bowen, like playing another villain.
Yeah,
you know.
Guys who can be themselves on 110%, right?
Yeah,
150%, 200%. That's people always get hung up on. Oh, it's fake. Oh, it's this. It's something else. It's not fake. It's something else. It's performance on some level. It's athleticism on another level. It is a combination of the two things, and it is how you sell the act of arm wrestling, right? Yeah. It's all about selling it to people, getting it in front of more people's eyes. And guess what makes like $80 gajillion every year? Pro wrestling.
Shit's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix, man. Like, that's massive.
I guarantee that if this Bicep Bash is a huge success, I guarantee someone in the top 10 in the world, right hand, will just be sliding into Tim Talmadge's DMs to come to an event.
Ooh, sexy.
I think. I've got a name in mind, and I think it'll be sooner rather than later. Tim's thinking David versus Goliath. Is this another match for Bicep Bash, Tim?
Interesting. That I do like myself a good David Goliath match. I've been involved in a couple of those where I was David, believe it or not.
I was going to say, because you're too small to be Goliath.
I know, right?
I'm bigger than you.
You're taller than me.
What are you weighing now?
255.
Fuck.
Yeah, like I'm. So when I came back from Jamaica, I went to Jamaica like a month ago, and when I came back, I was like 271, and I'm like, all right. As soon as I got home, we started training for Steiner.
255. So
yeah, it's I'm very solid right now. I'm very filthy in a lot of places. Scott's not going to be very happy. He's going to realize that he should have been spending more time on his pronator instead of his bicep.
Man, 115 kilos. Archdog reckons that, contracts will prevent, like, my prediction for the top 10. Don't worry about that, mate, because brick by brick, things are crumbling. Don't worry about that, mate. Do not worry about that. Just come, Archdog. Come this side, buddy. I'm a historian. He'll be on this side. He's a good dude.
Indeed.
But, man, All right, we won't go for too much longer, guys, but every week John's going to go in there. We're going to bring back the caption game next week with John. Tomorrow, Jerry Cataret will be on the show. Just lastly, John, you're talking about bottom 8. There's a good comment there. And I do apologise, chat, that I haven't been heavily involved today. John and I are like two kids on Christmas Eve. And we know we've got wrestling stuff under the tree. Like, that's how excited we are. But if you were to bring back the bottom 8, who would be in it?
Well, it's hard to say because I was thinking about this. Maybe it's just because I don't really take in a ton of arm wrestling content anymore, but I feel like the days of the arm wrestling personality, like is kind of on the downslope.
I think that era's disappeared, right? Because like Ian's telling people to get off Reddit. Like, if you want to work with me, you can't talk on Reddit. So people are quitting on Reddit. It's a lot of channels are just, hi, Devin said, can't believe Devin said, you wouldn't believe Devin. Devin said this. And personalities that used to be personalities are just, I can't believe Engen said this. Levan said what about Devin? So I could not agree with you more. Because last time it was, what was it? It was Ryan. Beerman, Chris Gobby.
Chris Gobby.
Was Artem in it? Artem Taraneko?
Artem was in it. Yep, Artem was in it.
He's still a personality, but he's already been in it.
Craig Sublair was in it.
So it's...
And that other loser from New York or New Jersey, whatever his name was, I can't remember his name. He's really terrible, really bad. He was buddies with.
Was Juju in it?
Oh, Juji Mufu was in it. Yep. But I was talking about the guy who is friends with Mike. God, my brain is dumb today. Big Mike, super jacked.
Mike Aiello,
his buddy. Can't remember what his name. Jonathan something.
Oh, Jonathan Breeder.
No, not Jonathan.
No, Jonathan Breeder. Yes, it's on the tip of my tongue.
Lava.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it.
Jonathan
and then we were gonna do bottom 8 too. I was set to be a part of that. They had that guy with that huge thick neck. It was like they called him Titan Neck. And a few other guys. I can't remember who else was involved, but it would have been good. But it all fell apart.
So a good bottom 8 off the top of my head. It's hard because you've got to get skill-wise. But I would have like if you're the benchmark, Leroy Walker.
Oh, yeah.
Who else could I have this big? Like, you could have someone like Rickard Bourneman. But he's becoming like more of a superstar. You want
Well, you gotta have the guys that are in the gutter fighting the real fight, not you Australians in your white castles that are up in the clouds.
I would love Armwrestler to be a part of it if we found people, because he's like, when he makes his videos are top notch.
Yeah.
I love him. But yeah, there's no real personality, because what everyone does now is they start a YouTube channel and they just go live. They start a YouTube channel and they just go live. Or it's can't believe Devin said this, can't believe Devin said that. You could get Armwrestler and like performance enhancing pancakes. He's been a bit busy lately. You could get those two and set the bar around them. Let's chuck Phil Woody in our bottom 8.
Oh, yeah. Phil Woody got a spot.
The Metal.
Yeah. The Metal would be good.
Oh, Justin. No, not Concrete Elbow, because he makes pedophilia polls, so fuck him. He made a poll like ages ago, and he's like, if the person is a 10 out of 10 but underage along those lines, would you still hit it? And I'm like, fuck that.
Not a great look.
No. So he can piss off. No. When you have two little girls, like that shit just don't. There's some people that, everyone has their line. I can make the dumbest jokes ever. Jokes about my wife, jokes about pedophilia. You fucking lost me. So, Justin, if this new thing with Tim Talmadge goes ahead and everything that John and I talked about goes ahead, I might have a whole heap of merchandise for you for sale. Fucking sell everything. I think every promoter in USA should pull an around robin and the winner hosts national. This is like baseball. So who would that be? There would be obviously Tim, Chan Shaw.
Yep.
Because he does Florida. What's his name? The referee. I love him, but he whinges a lot on Facebook. I love him.
Leonard Harkless?
No.
Oh, you're talking about Sean.
Yeah, Sean Hancock. Love that guy, but just calm down on Facebook, buddy. You can have those three. Who are Ryan Grondin? Or he's in the bottom 8.
Yeah, Grondin could be in the bottom 8 for sure.
Ryan's in the bottom 8.
Yeah.
Who else?
I don't know. I like it though. I wish arm wrestling would get back to some of that. Like the first 3 years were so fun. Like there was so much like innovative stuff happening, and people don't remember that. Like arm wrestling content, it was not like this all the time.
Man, like 3 years ago, how fun was it?
Oh, it was great. It's great.
Being on YouTube, like
right before Engen showed up.
Oh, it was there was that, but then there was there was absolute just the when money got involved, because I know people that were really pissed and still are today, that if I get like $100 in super chat, $200 in super chat, like they would be really pissed off. And then, we used to all share content. Remember, we're in that group chat.
Yeah.
And then your mate ruined it all.
Which one?
I can't remember his name now. He's really irrelevant. I can't remember his name. But he fucked it up. What's his name? Me, Ryan, Shan Shaw, James Reed, Bill Collins, Leonard Billy.
No, Leonard Harkless, Billy Ortega.
Oh, yeah. Who's Mickey?
Ortegas. Mickey. I don't know, Mickey. Mickey. You're so fine.
Yeah, Tim only wants it because he knows he'll win.
Well, isn't that what we want?
Well, America have 17 nationals anyway, so Tim, I'll just go to an arm sports entertainment.
Oh, Mikey Oliva. That's it. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, Mikey Oliva. Major Mason says, in other news, I'm focusing a little more on biceps. Thanks, mate.
Great stuff, bro.
Man. All right. Well, we, as Lucky comes in at the tail end of it. Next week, John will be on the show. Tomorrow, Jerry Caderet. Hopefully, Reno Massage on. Matt Mask was at work. He couldn't come on this week. So hopefully we'll catch him for his match with Kitagali on Gabayev. But just hit Tim Talmadge up. Everything about Bicep Bash. Hit him up, because this shit is a game changer. It's a game changer, and I don't care what anyone says. I don't care that people will crack the shit and get annoyed that arm wrestling's coming to it. But John, Tim, and I are basically the only 3 arm wrestlers that will be at WrestleMania talking about arm wrestling. So for all those haters out there There you go. John can have that one. But yeah, you guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. See you tomorrow for Jerry Caderet. But more importantly, next week when John comes back. Bit of caption game. See you, suckers.